Welcome to the Rose Room. Tonight, we have a special episode with lawyer and author Shanti Edwards. Let's join the conversation.
That's a great question. I feel like when I turned 30, it just everything sort of clicked. Like I feel more calm and grounded. So I really am like making sure I am in spaces that I feel welcomed and I don't feel like I need to um try to like fit in or anything like that. I go around people who where I'm celebrated and who I can celebrate. So I think those are the big things that I'm focused on, just like being in environments that I feel comfortable and that, you know, I feel celebrated in.
Did you think it was going to be this big change, like when Y2K happened?
Honestly, yeah, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have my life together and I don't know what I'm doing. And 30 was supposed to be a little different in my head, but now that I'm like a few months in, I'm like, all right, it truly, it truly isn't that big of a deal.
Feels the same.
Yeah,
Well, do you personally feel more soft or strong?
I think so. I think so. I think I feel like more, I think I feel like I trust myself a bit more,
I like to hear
which is nice.
that. And speaking of soft and stronger, those are qualities you need with your work. You are a lawyer in the juvenile justice system. So what's a typical day like? Give us one day.
Sure. I mean, I do a lot of supporting our racial justice projects. So thinking about the ways in which the system, the juvenile justice system, the criminal legal system, has a lot of racial injustices and what can we do to fix those issues. And so a typical day, honestly, every day is so different, but I'm doing a lot of research, talking to different public defenders, helping with preparing training materials, and different resources. Some days I might go into the detention facility and talk to the youth who are there to learn about some of the issues that they're experiencing and what we can do to help them. So really, every day is so different, but every day is like really fulfilling.
And how do you find that balance between holding someone accountable and someone receiving a harsh punishment?
Well, I believe that we should hold the systems accountable,
Mhm.
honestly. I feel like a lot of times we're not necessarily paying attention to our youth in general. We're not paying attention to like their experiences. Maybe they've experienced some form of trauma. Maybe when they get into the legal system, they're experiencing trauma inside the facilities, and we're expecting them to um just know all the answers or have all the answers without really doing the work to help them or heal them or help their families and the communities. So I really think that accountability also looks like um, holding the systems accountable for its failures and the gaps in resources.
And speaking of that trauma that they receive in the system, what about the trauma that starts at home? What are some of the things you constantly hear about some of the juveniles that come through the system about their home life and family life?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could range, it's a wide range. I think that it could depend on, you know, just like the resources that they don't have. It could depend on, seeing gun violence in their communities, and having to navigate that. Some youth may have lost their friends to gun violence, or feeling the need to carry a weapon for themselves because of protection, and reasons of needing to protect themselves. Um, so there's such a wide range. It could be in the home, it could be in the community, it could be at school, having police around them all the time and scrutinizing them, even from a young age. Um, and so really, I mean, I love this question because I think again, to me, it's like how are we failing our youth and what can we do to support them and change the environments and the systems?
And you're doing the work in that area. And the last time we talked, you answered this question with a no. And, we kind of laughed it off because I kind of understood. But for everybody else, you said you wouldn't get into politics. Why is that?
It's funny because when I was younger, like when I was in high school, I loved learning about politics and I was like, oh, I want to do like politics when I get older because I want to help Black and brown people. Um, but then, as I got older and started like learning more about sort of like I guess the behind the scenes in politics or all the drama and like really just wanting to focus my work on um in other like focus my work in other ways of helping people. I felt like the legal system would be a good place to do that because oftentimes our community needs support navigating the difficulties of the court system. And so I just, naturally fell into like the legal system as being the route to help people instead of having to deal with the drama and politics or like having to, I don't know. I just think it's a lot that comes with politics.
Oh, I know, trust me. And you're not just a professional, you're a creative. You're a writer. Does your work have any type of influence on how you write your books?
Um, so I would say like even so I was an English major, creative writing major in undergrad. And even from, that age, I wanted my writing to kind of leave my readers with something. I wanted to, whether I'm talking about a social injustice issue and I'm kind of incorporating it into my writing, um, or whether I'm directly like just making my readers feel something and think about something more deeply, that was always like a goal of my writing. And so I would say with my first book, Love in the Key of Black, which comes out on June 16th, I tried to, it is a romance novel, but I tried to incorporate some of that into the novel as well, I actually talk about gun violence, in my book a little bit, right? So I wanted to create an opportunity for my readers to think about some of these issues, because we do experience them and they are very real. And so that's something I think going forward as a writer, I want to practice the craft of being able to incorporate those things into my book even more.
Right. Love in the Key of Black. It's short stories of Black love revolving around Black populated cities and their signature music sound. So you're not only combining real life songs and artists, but real situations as well. Why was it important for you to do that as far as the music part? I know the real life part you just explained.
Yeah, so I would say music definitely inspires my writing. So when I was first, sitting down thinking I wanted to write a book, I had no idea what I wanted to write about. But I started like I would write and have writing sessions while I'm listening to music. And I think it just naturally progressed into me wanting music to be sort of like a theme throughout. And then when I think about music often, I mean, I'm always listening to music. I'm singing in the shower. I'm listening to it on my way home to decompress after a hard day. But it's also music is really healing to me. And it also is like a love language to me. So I thought it would be perfect to incorporate it into my book. And then I would also say like music videos really inspire my writing too. So thinking about like Alicia Keys' You Don't Know My Name and sort of like the vibe that her book gave off, I really wanted to kind of incorporate just kind of I guess a throwback to some of that like 90s, early 2000s nostalgia music, R&B, and just really um c- kind of take my readers on a journey through like a musical lens.
Almost like how the music videos used to be. It told a story back in the
Right.
day. So it wasn't just a microphone hanging. But
Right, exactly. That's exactly right.
your top five favorite music artists, since we're speaking music. Let's see if you can get this now.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with like my top five that I listen to all the time. Um, I mean, so one, Michael Jackson has been heavy on my mind, especially since the movie.
Hmm.
So I would definitely put him at the top. I would also I know I'm gonna receive some like laughs about this, but Drake is definitely I'm always listening to Drake.
Uh-huh.
And
I actually like when he sing. I like
I
the sing.
do too.
Yeah, because I like laid back stuff anyway.
Yeah, I feel like his music is like perfect when you're driving and just like late night, like trying to relax. Like I love it.
Right. He could miss me with the tough talk, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I would say I've been listening to a lot of like Brent Faiyaz.
Mhm.
Love his music. I would also say like Beyonce, of course, for the girls. And then lastly, who's gonna get the last spot? I think I'm gonna say right now I would say I'm listening to a lot of Giveon. So a lot of R&B. Like I like
Right.
the very chill R&B vibes.
Oh yeah. Nothing beats 90s R&B.
Hmm.
So you're mixing the music with the romance. What's something that Black storytelling is missing as far as the romance department? Because you remember we used to have a bunch of those books back in the day that we weren't supposed to be reading, but we was reading anyway.
Yeah.
Is it different now? Is something missing?
I don't know if I would say anything is missing. I definitely, especially over the last few years, there's been such a strong growth in like the Black romance book community.
Mhm.
And so there's like literally a whole like community of folks who like there's amazing writers who actually inspired me to write romance. And then there's also just a community of supporters of book talkers who just really love talking about and diving into Black romance. So I really appreciate that. Um, I think for me, when I was writing my book, I really wanted to kind of leave my readers feeling hopeful about romance and Black love stories because I think, especially now, there's a lot of like, just like it's hard. Dating is really hard. So I think that sometimes we walk away feeling like demoralized or unmotivated to continue. And I just wanted to leave my readers with something feel good and remind them to be hopefully romantic in all aspects of their life.
What's the extension of this book? It comes out, everybody loves it. What would you do next? What would you like to do next?
I have been telling everybody this because I really believe in like speaking things into fruition, but I really want my book to be adapted to film. There's been a lot of lately, there's been more and more Black romance novels being picked up for adapting to film. So I really would love that to happen. I really love watching TV and like Black romance, even from like um the 2000s. So I think for me it would be really cool to take a film writing class so I can actually, if that does happen, I can be really involved in the process of developing the script and picking the characters and just like the small details and making that vision come to life.
Yeah, I'll have to introduce you to Dr. Tahira. She was another guest here on the Rose Room who wrote a movie that was shown in Greenbelt theaters and everything. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's really
definitely.
dope. Um, romance novel. What does love mean to you? And not the dictionary definition.
Yeah. I mean, this also kind of inspired my book and something that I kept going back to because I always reread Bell Hook's All About Love. And I feel like it always stuck with me that she described love as being a verb and being an action. And that was something that I tried to thread throughout my book. Because you can, it really is a choice. Like you can choose to lean into something, but it's also really powerful at the same time when you make those choices to walk away from something that is no longer serving you. And so, that's an aspect that I try to, empower my readers with by my storytelling. Um, but then I also would say love shows up in like the small, mundane things. So it could show up in just like your morning coffee, and like your routines, but also like in your community, and the people who surround you, your friends, your family. And so, in my book, I really try to, um, show my readers that and remind them of that, because I think it's really important.
Would you ever be a relationship counselor or coach of some sort?
That would be cool. Maybe one day.
Okay.
That would be cool. I wouldn't, it's not a no. I think that would be cool.
Look, just make sure you get certified.
Right. I don't want to be out here giving advice and then not certified.
Where can everybody find you, follow you, and pre-order the book?
So all on all social media, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, it's at author Shanti Edwards.
Mhm.
My website is www.authorshantiedwards.com. And my book, Love in the Key of Black, comes out on June 16th. So please, please, please follow me on social media to stay up to date about where you can purchase.
Thank you. And leave everybody with your last words from Shanti Edwards, author Shanti Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'm just so excited for you all to read my book. I think that if you love 90s R&B, if you love early 2000s like Black cinema, if you want to read a feel-good romance novel about music, celebrating R&B, celebrating jazz, celebrating DC's go-go music, then you should definitely check out Love in the Key of Black on June 16th.
You deserve your flowers.
Thank you so, so much.
You're welcome.